Are you going to be an HOA lover or hater?
You better get fired up.
All right, guys, we got a great Friday. Hope you're having a great week and an even better weekend. Today, we're going to talk about HOAs, man. An HOA is a homeowners association. So what it is a particular area of houses gets together and they've got a board and they say, hey, we're going to make up some rules. And there's pros and cons to the whole concept, right? I love HOAs. I work with a lot of buyers, most of which either will only look in HOAs or will only look outside of HOAs. Not a lot of people that are willing to look in both. It's either I love them or I hate them, right? So for anybody who hasn't experienced an HOA or maybe doesn't know what they are, I think it's really important to first look into what it is that the pros and cons are, and then you'll probably get a good feeling for which it is you're attracted to, right? Whether it's being in one or not being in one. The first one is all the amenities. You get a lot of great amenities with these different HOAs, but the amenities differ, right? So for some HOAs, you might get a public pool. That's a pretty big deal to people, especially down here in South Florida. You might get your internet covered. You might get your lawn taken care of. You might get landscaping put in every year. You might get your roof taken care of, especially if it's like a condo building or townhouses, some sort of shared wall unit that you're living in. There's a lot of different things that HOA may or may not cover. Security gates, right, with a security guard. So it's really important to look into what is it covering and are those things attractive to me? If a lot of these things are things you were going to pay for anyway, while there's costs associated, and that's what I'm going to get into next, they might be costs you're going to take on anyway. So it's not like it's really costing you a lot of extra money. So then you got to look into the costs. I'll tell you here locally in Port St. Lucie, I've seen HOAs with double-digit fees, 40, 50, 60, 70 bucks a month. That's pretty minimal. Most of them don't offer a lot when it comes to amenities, but they do have a board and they will make rules, right? So if you like the restrictions, of course, nobody wants to be restricted, but I'll tell you what I like about it is where I live, there are no rusted out pickups sitting out front. There's nobody parked in the street. There's nobody with an ugly lawn. Everything looks beautiful. Now that means I got to look beautiful too, right? Or else I'm going to get somebody coming over to my house, knocking on my door and saying, hey, fix it. But everybody looks pretty dang sharp and you're going to pay for it. So when you get more amenities, maybe you've got the pool or you've got the gate guard or you've got whatever, that's when you're going to see HOA prices go up. I would say HOA prices for HOAs that have quite a few amenities in this area start around $200-$300 a month. Just about anywhere in tradition, you're going to be around that $400, $500, maybe even $600 mark per month because you're not only paying the master HOA, which is tradition, but you're paying the subordinate, which could be Vitalia, Bedford Park, whatever it is, right? So you're going to pay both of them, and both of them are offering you different amenities that go along with that, okay? So really, you got to look at the costs. Sometimes these costs can get up to $500, $600, $700, $800. Go south down into a West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. You'll see them get into the four figures. It gets very expensive. But again, what are the amenities you're getting for it, and is it worth it to you? Now, you've got restrictions. So I just talked about, in a lot of these different HOAs, you can't keep a rusted out pickup outside. If you run a company, a good friend of mine has the biggest, the best environmental services company, right? And he's got a bunch of big green trucks with logos along the side. Well, guess what? A lot of these HOAs are not going to allow you commercial vehicles. Can you have a truck? In most of them, yes. Not all of them, though. But can you have a commercial truck? A lot of them will not allow you to have that. Can you let your lawn go and not mow it? A lot of them will not allow you to do that. I can only paint my house certain colors. So if I like neon pink, I'm probably going to be out of luck, right? Just getting a new roof right now. We got it coming in about 4-6 weeks, and we're getting metal. Well, we're not painting ours, but if we did want a specific color, there's only a handful of colors I could choose from. Same with shingles. There's only a handful of colors I could choose from. I've got to go through the extra added effort to make sure that the HOA approves our application. If they say no to anything, I can't really push forward with that, right? I have to do whatever the HOA allows me to. So again, the pro to that is everybody's got a minimum standard that they're going to have to withhold in that community. So it's going to look as good as the HOA, the people running it, and the costs that are associated to support that. But you're also going to be restricted. So you've got to question if you're happy with that. And then the last thing is there are changes that can be made. And I'm going to tell you, I live in Bedford Park. Love it. I think it's the cutest doggone HOA in South Florida. I absolutely love it. It gives me a wonderful feeling. And I think you can walk down the sidewalks. You've got street lamps. You've got parks. Everybody's outside with their kids. It's just awesome. It is great. Well, guess what? The master HOA tradition is planning on taking some of those big strips of lawn that we all love, and they're going to turn them into parking lots. Now, are they going to move forward with that or not? We don't really know. How is it going to impact us? We don't really know, but it's not something that we're overly excited about. Do we have any impact over that at all? Nope, we don't. So that can be very impactful, and sometimes it's for the better, sometimes it's not for the better, right? And everybody's got a different opinion. I can tell you, going to board meetings, you're going to mention literally anything. It doesn't matter what it is, and half the people are going to absolutely love it. Half the people are going to hate it, and you've got to realize when you get into an HOA, I'm a board member, right? I am on the board for my HOA, and I'm only 1 out of 5 votes. If you're not on the board, then you're 1 out of however many votes there are, and you're only getting to vote on certain things, right? So it's really important if you care a lot about the changes, the costs, the amenities you're getting, all these different things, either go to the board meetings and be vocal or join the doggone board, man. I always say if you're going to complain, you better do something to be a part of the solution. Otherwise, your complaints are just complaints. So there's a lot of great stuff to it. There's a lot of stuff you're probably not going to like. If you're hearing what I'm saying and you're just cringing, you're probably not an HOA person. If you're hearing what I'm saying and you're like, I would love to never have to mow my lawn again, to make sure that nobody has a house that really sticks out and makes the rest of us look bad. And I would love to have somebody roaming the streets, making sure that those standards are upheld. And I'd love to not have to pay for a pool, yet on Saturdays and Sundays, I can go over and use the community pool. Then you'll probably love it, right? So everybody's got a little bit different feeling, but there are the major pros and cons of any HOA. Guys, if you've got comments, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, feel free to put them down below, and I will always get back to you and answer them. If you've got any topic you'd like to hear in the future, let me know what it is with a simple comment or DM me, and we will absolutely bring that up in a future episode. Guys, have a wonderful Friday and an even better weekend.